Hey guys, um, today I want to talk about boundaries. And the reason I want to talk about them is because I'm still learning about boundaries. And, you know, being a people pleaser and trying to recover from that, it's one day at a time. Just like any recovery. And it's being present in the moment and, you know, taking my monkey mind out of why I'm saying yes. Um, as you can hear puppies in the background, um, you know, it, I love working with animals. I truly, truly love working with animals. However, I need to learn to set boundaries on what it is I can do, and it starts with me. I I have to be honest with who I am, my mental state, my physical state, my emotional state before I say yes to something. Uh, it's not the puppy's fault. They're young. Their mother was taken away too soon, so they need constant reassuring. And on a typical day, that would be great. I have no problem doing that. But when I'm sick and just I haven't learned this camera, I gotta quit. And I haven't learned to sleep when they sleep. Um, just block off time. Um, it wears, and I'm not feeling well, so that unfortunately, as I realized yesterday, that starts as a trigger. Um, I don't remember my early years, to be honest. I want to say my first memories were 4 or 5, and again, no fault of her own. My father worked all the time, and if he wasn't at work, he was working on a car, the house, something. And my early memories of being sick, I don't remember being cared for and, coddled and nurtured. One of the biggest memories I have is being very sick with what I thought was the flu and being told I better hit the toilet because if not, I was cleaning it up. And unfortunately, I didn't make it. And I'll never forget that. It's crazy how things that happen stick in your mind. And, I'm sure my mother didn't realize, but, I was a kid and I was sick. And I got sick cleaning up my throw up. So it's not funny. It really isn't funny. It's sad, and me and well, I can only speak for myself. We used humor. I used humor to protect, because it was easier to laugh about it than to cry and get upset, because that got you nowhere, but typically in more trouble. So not feeling well, it heightens. And that trigger of no one's going to be there for you and you're going to have to do this on your own, that comes into play. And I really didn't think about that. All these times where I'm sick, I'm almost afraid to seek out help because I'll have to take care of myself. And I suck at asking for help. I really do. And whether that's because of things that occurred in my past, I always found that I reach out and, it doesn't come. And when you're sick, you're more sensitive because you're just not feeling well. So the last few years, I've been working on boundaries, and I allowed people to come into my life that didn't deserve a spot in it. I also had people that were already in my life that more or less were leeches. And they took and took and took, and I gave and gave and gave. And that was the friendship. That was the relationship. And as I started to set boundaries, I literally had to practice saying no in the mirror in therapy. Oh my God, probably she had me do it. This piece of hair. I know it's driving you guys crazy. There. I had to practice it so many times in the mirror because I struggled saying it. And then if I could say no, then for the next 24, 48, however many hours, I fought through the guilt of saying no. They're not going to like me. They really needed me. The what ifs. What if they can't find? So that took me even more therapy to say no. And for a while there, I got very good at saying no. And I said it so loudly and aggressively that some people pulled out of my life. I don't blame them. And I look and I see that sometimes that's a blessing. So I'm good at no. I had to focus on not feeling guilty. One of the things that I learned many years ago, and it wasn't until my suicide attempt that the phrase came back, and I grabbed a hold of it. I literally had a picture of an oxygen mask on my wall to remind me that when you get on a plane, they tell you to put the oxygen mask on first, because you can't help anyone else if you're not getting what you need. And I struggle with that on a daily basis. I try to work hard at it. I write it down. At times you may come to my house and there's Post-it notes all over. Walls, mirrors, just randomly put, because I have to remind myself I need to come first. I don't know where I thought that was selfish. I don't know where. There's things throughout my life that I guess I was called selfish. and I didn't think that I was. However, I didn't like anyone calling me something, and I thought selfish was such a bad word. So, I didn't want to be selfish. And now I'm learning that selfish is actually a very good thing if it's used correctly. I'm not talking about being selfish to the point where there's only enough food for 6 people and you eat 4 portions of it. Yeah, that's selfish. But to take time out to refeed your soul from some of the leeches in the world, the negativity in the world, and just fighting my own monkey mind. That's not selfish at all. That's no different than me drinking enough water to stay hydrated, me exercising to stay healthy. And that takes work. It takes practice. Even doing these videos, I do them and I try to do them from a place in my heart to help not only myself, but somebody else, and try to say what's truly going on, because maybe somebody will connect to it. And feedback sometimes can be ugly, and then I have to tell myself someone else's opinion about me is none of my business. And why do I even give that judgment more than 1 second of my time? I just need to have it go in and out, let it go. But it's a challenge. And I'm very good at pushing people away, because as soon as I feel a connection and I want to trust, my monkey mind comes up with reasons that it's not going to work and don't trust them. So I push them away because I know how to be alone. I know how to do things on my own. And I'm finding connections with individuals that truly do care and truly do support, truly do reach out, and not just when they need something. And I haven't been a good friend. I haven't been a good sibling. I haven't been a good daughter. I haven't been a good mother. But it's because of what I didn't know and didn't know how. And I'm learning. And, by setting boundaries, people are getting very hurt, upset, and unfortunately childish, and saying not so nice things. Again, not my problem. And I know that's easier for me to say than for people to do, because I struggle with it every day. So I've set boundaries with people in my life, and It's tough when you've set a boundary for my mental health, for my emotional health, and sometimes for my physical health. And I don't know, a week or two or 3 weeks later, they notice that I'm not really there for them. And you try to explain why you set the boundary, why you needed to walk away. And they put it back on you because it can't be their fault. They put it back on you. So yesterday, I was struggling with my boundaries, my no, and no means need oxygen. Need oxygen. No. That means I need to breathe. I need to put back into me. And I have to be okay with it. I have to be okay with it. I also need to learn to not only ask for help, but when it is offered, accept it. And I'm not all that. I can't do it all on my own. I need good relationships in my life, and you also need some challenging relationships in your life to know what's a good relationship. When you go through your life and you've never really had a good relationship, then it's very hard to figure out if this is a good relationship or not. Now, I'm very blessed with friends that I've had for what feels like a lifetime, and we may not talk every day. We may not see each other, especially with COVID. However, when we get together, it is like nothing, no time has lapsed. We just get together and we feel each other and we know energy, guys. We know each other and we laugh and we joke, and that's oxygen. I've got to look at that because I've put myself in a bubble and don't really want anyone in. Also, having pretty much daily a redirection, because I've applied for so many jobs, and it, it's a rejection. However, I don't look at it as that. I look at a redirection. But that that redirection doesn't pay the bills. I have faith. I have faith in me. I have faith in my angels that what is meant for me will never pass me by. I just have to believe. And my faith is pushed constantly. So these videos push on my boundaries. I want to get out what it was like living with an abuser. However, when I do, then I have to sit with myself for a day or two, because some of the things that I bring up, I haven't thought about in a long time, and I locked it so far away because I didn't want to get hurt. So I have to sit with it and literally talk myself through. I didn't deserve it. It's not my fault. I didn't know any better. I did the best that I could. So that takes energy. My normal day takes energy. I give to my son. I give to all of the animals that I care for. I give to my grown children when I can. And I give to all of you. I just have to give to me. I have to set that boundary and give to me. And I've been avoiding a lot of the things that truly give me oxygen. And that's horses. I can't even describe the connection that I have with a horse. And having my my handsome man gone, that it's hard. Yes, I can look at a picture of him, and yes, I love the picture of him, but I'm not getting that energy that he gave me. Friends, I get so much energy from my friends, so much, and I forget to thank them for the energy that they give me. And with COVID, it's very hard. It's very hard to get the energy off of people because friendships have been divided because of the political nonsense. Friendships have been put with barriers because of COVID. And relationships in general have been every one of us is under stress, and it's stress of some kind, whether it's like me worried how I'm going to pay my next bill, how I'm going to feed my animals, how I'm going to, get a job. And then you have the normal everyday worries. And then you have the stress of COVID. I have a sore throat, my ears hurt. I want someone to come in and sit with the puppy so I can take a much needed nap, but I don't want to put them at risk. Well, everyone in the world is going through very similar issues and concerns. They're working from home, hoping to go back, but they may not have a job to go back to. Small business owners worried about tomorrow. And I know I need to stay in the moment. It's just taking that time to put me first, put my oxygen mask on, re-energize me, and hope. Well, I can't hope. The people that take that